Welcome to DBL. We got our one and only Dr. Coley in the building.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi, girl.
Okay, so Dr. Coley, we are going to begin with some very scary diseases. In fact, they are making headlines, including a Listeria outbreak that's now linked to boar's head deli meat. So far, it has killed 9 people. So, Dr. Coley, what is Listeria and what can we do to protect ourselves?
Listeria is a bacteria, and it's all over nature. You find it in soil, you find it in animal feces, but it can also cause food poisoning. This is not just any kind of food poisoning. This is the food poisoning from hell. So it is diarrhea, it is vomiting, it is fevers, it is chills, and then if it gets into your bloodstream, it can cause septicemia. It can even get into your central nervous system and your brain. But the most people at risk are like pregnant women or those with weakened immune system. But this is the biggest Listeria outbreak that we've had, guys, in over a decade.
Oh, no.
And you find it in contaminated meats, you can find it in raw cheeses, and we really have to take some precautions if we want to minimize our exposure, because most of us handle raw meat, right, at the grocery store and such. So I tell my patients, when you're buying meat, always put it in a separate bag. Never put it in the same bag as your other groceries. When you're cutting meat at home, you want to wash your hands before, of course, but use a special cutting board and maybe even think about special knives for that meat so you're not contaminating your other food. But also think about your produce, because it's not just meat. You can also see it in fruits and lettuce and other types of produce as well. So really rinse that super well. Sometimes use a brush, and sometimes people think if they're peeling something like an apple, they don't have to rinse it because they're taking the peel off. But we really encourage people to do that because it can pop up and it can make you pretty sick.
Wow. Lord.
Well, one thing that I hate is mosquitoes because they love me so much. And there are a number of mosquito-borne diseases going around. One is EEE, there's West Nile, there's even something called sloth fever. So talk to us about all of these.
Yes. Mosquitoes love me too, Erica. And so it's kind of interesting. It's your body chemicals that attract the mosquitoes, and so certain people just get bitten a lot. But even if you're someone who doesn't get bitten by mosquitoes, you have to pay attention because we're seeing a surge in a lot of these mosquito illnesses. Dr. Fauci, in fact, was just hospitalized with West Nile virus.
Really?
And he's going to be okay. He didn't have any neurological involvement or anything like that. But these are essentially what's called mosquito-borne illnesses. So the mosquito carries the illness to you, usually from another host. It doesn't spread human to human. So that's the nice thing about it. And most of us that are healthy will probably do okay with it. We might have a flu-like illness, but some people, it can get into the brain or the nervous system. And if that happens, there's a high risk of death. There's even a chance of permanent neurological damage.
How soon would you get sick? Sorry to interrupt, but this is concerning. How soon would you get sick if you were bit by a mosquito?
Depending on which virus it is, but usually within about a week to 2 weeks, you can start to see symptoms.
A week
so
to 2 weeks.
The lesson here, don't get bitten by those mosquitoes. And
that's why I don't go outside.
Okay.
And you don't go into the woods. You just stay in the city in air conditioning, no mosquitoes.
You are so
Have you been bit since you've been in the studio, Erica? I rest my case.
Well, you're making a joke, but it's summertime. I love to take a walk around the lake in the evenings. And guess when they're most active? Dawn and dusk. Guess when they're active? Standing bodies of water. So if you have a bird bath or you have a swimming pool, you live near a lake. That's you, Sam.
That's my bird bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bee
It's
bath.
my bird bath.
Oh, do you get a ton of mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Are you going to let her get away with saying bee bath?
No, she knows what a bee bath is.
It's not
shallow
a
with rock.
thing.
They need to drink water.
Yeah.
I
Why
have
would
a
you
video.
want bees near you?
Because they
Oh
pollinate
my
and
gosh.
save our agriculture.
Then
Al.
plant some flowers and move them away.
I did.
She did.
I did.
You did.
I did.
So the bees are pollinating, but the mosquitoes are also breeding around the water. So ladies, when you go out into your backyard, make sure you spray your kids or spray yourself with insect repellent with DEET, or you can even put lemon eucalyptus oil on your skin.
That's what I do.
That's
Is that
what you-
right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
But it's just as important as that sunscreen. And we don't take it seriously enough, but we really have to pay attention because these viruses can
I don't think I've ever been in a store that sold lemon eucalyptus
No,
oil.
you get.
What is that?
Like at Whole Foods, you can
Yeah,
get
you
it, right?
can Sprouts. You can
Yeah.
pretty much go anywhere and you
Yeah.
can get some essential
It
oil.
might-
I use Vicks.
Oh, Vicks.
Vicks.
Vicks?
Yeah, I've been
vanilla.
using Vicks for a while.
Oh, there
Maybe
is eucalyptus in Vicks. That's smart.
That's why I
Yeah.
Like a menthol kind of thing.
Erica's an
don't know the
89-year-old
data
black
behind
woman, if you
Vicks.
didn't know. That is some old school, right? The Vicks.
throw
You put it
Vicks
on your
on anything.
yeah, put it on your chest, go to sleep.
All right. Switching gears here. That was hysterical. Eli Lilly has started selling its weight loss medication called Vicks. No, I'm kidding. It's called Zepbound, and it's direct to consumers with a prescription. But instead of coming in those injector pens, it's going to be a single dose vial that you have to fill and inject on your own. Is that a good idea? I know diabetics do, but I mean, tell me about that.
I'm kind of liking this idea, and I'll tell you why. They're being pressured to make this because of all the compounded knockoffs that are out there. The fact that they're prescription drug in the pre-filled pen, so it used to be a pen that you just, you click into your thigh and you inject. Those are more expensive to manufacture. So the cost was $1,000 to $1,400 a month, which was prohibitive. So these single injection vials, which will hopefully prevent overdoses because it's just one dose, are much cheaper, $399 a month for the lowest dose, and they provide the same sort of benefits. You can also change the dose. So let's say you don't want 5 milligrams, you want 2.5 milligrams. I, as a doctor, could tell the patient to inject half. But the question for you guys that I have is, would you feel comfortable drawing up something and injecting yourself?
Here's the thing. Anyone who's gone through IVF, you know that this is just par for the course.
Of what you do.
But I would say one thing that was very helpful for me was having a stationary place where I did all of my injections and everything. And also, the only thing about the needles are, depending on where they're coming from, sometimes they have air in them before you use them.
Isn't that dangerous?
And sometimes they don't. So it is important to actually push the air in before you're injecting. Yeah, so that you're, not.
It is dangerous. If you inject air into your blood vessel, not so much into the fat, but into the blood vessel, it can cause a cardiac arrest. So, but the idea here is to take the drug and make it more accessible to people, even if that means educating them more. But that education piece I cannot emphasize enough. And also making sure older patients who might have a tremor or some other type of problem, dexterity issue, are able to use it.
Can we not get a pill? Get a pill.
So there is a pill.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a pill.
Okay, never mind. We get it. Okay.
It's only for diabetics.
Okay,
so it
I don't wanna
hasn't
take
been
that
approved
away.
for weight loss yet.
Got it.
But I think weight loss drugs are here to stay. I think injections are here to stay, especially with IVF and weight loss. And we have a cholesterol injection that I use all the time. So I think we need to not be fearful of the needles and just kind of embrace the idea of treating ourselves.
Well said, Dr. Foley. And I also heard you have an announcement. Please tell us.
Is it about me?
Oh, man.
God,
Just let me know if you want me to turn his fair.
So the announcement is to be like Al and go ahead and schedule your flu shot and your COVID shot.
Good job, Al.
Yes.
Are they available, the new COVID one?
So they got it green lighted by the FDA, and they will be on the shelves in the next couple of weeks, and the flu shots are going to be there starting next week. So I can't emphasize this enough, guys. After everything we went through during the pandemic, I know we're tired of the vaccines, but let's just think of them as something we do every year. Just like we get our kids back to school, we get those vaccines, and we keep ourselves healthy.
Well said,
love
Dr.
it.
Coley. Well said.
Of course, her announcement will be about everybody else.
Yeah.
Not her.
Yeah.
You're such a good
Right?
person,
She
Dr.
really
Coley.
is. Thank you for joining us, as always, Dr. Coley. Make sure, DBL Nation, that you follow her on social media at Pyle Coley MD. You can also subscribe to her YouTube page. Plus, check out her podcast, Heart of Medicine, wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you again, Doctor.